like the certain matchups in this game makes things very difficult, and the timings that another NA team can hit with this carry Nature's Prophet. We've seen him hit level 6, play extremely aggressive, TP mid, take the tower, like TP bottom, take the enemy safe lane tower. And then you have Shadowfin against Ember matchup, which is quite difficult for Ember Spirit. Then you have like Disruptor against the Ember. There's like you have Rubik against the Clockwork, who can lift people with telekinetic. He can lift him out once he picks up the shard. So there's a lot of things that need to go really well for Penguin Squad. Terrorblade lineups tend to do a bit slowish at the start compared to some others, because he doesn't feel like too comfortable joining the fights compared to some other hero. I think Nature's Prophet's a good example where you can't really like match the pace of the hero.
Right. What do you do to try and keep up with that pace? If you can't keep up the pace at all, how do you counter that?
Well, Ember Spirit needs to be the one heavy lifting that Prophet with the rotations. Like the first Exo, they need to get a lot from it. They need to be able to pressure the tower, almost kill the tier 1 tower. Like second Exo needs to be on the mid tower. Like there's a lot of these things that need to be going well. Clockwork, one of the better heroes against Shadowfin overall. I see him starting with the Boots of Speed, so if he finds an opening, if he's the one trying to help out Ember Spirit to control the runes, they could get a kill there.
Right. So we'll see how the rune control is, if we see any solo kills happening anywhere. I'm always looking at RRL's lane, and well, this time he's on the Shadow Fiend, and I feel like I have a high standard when it comes to Shadow Fiend players, and we'll see if he can keep up to my standards. Not that they matter to anybody else, but I always feel like Paparazzi, Ori, a lot of those Chinese mids pop into my head when I think about Shadow Fiend mid. I don't know about you.
Well, whenever I think about Shadow Fiend, it's always pubs that I could think of. I think I legit have 0% win rate with Shadow Fiends and Anti-Mages on my team. Something about these two heroes is just like, I also don't like to play with these heroes, because I know things are going to be pretty rough. And looking at the top lane, I don't think Crawler will be able to get much done with the Battery Assault. We'll be constantly playing into these treants, so share damage, like power. Level 3 is the big power spike for Clockwork, when he's supposed to be strong. Also playing into Glimpse, so he cooks in, gets Glimpse back. It's just these matchups that I talked about that are going to be very hard to play into. Looking at the CS, Terrorblade sitting at 7-0. This lane is not too bad for him. I don't think Tide puts too much pressure. And Crawler, yeah, we talked about him not being able to... Oh, and the Glimpse is available. This is big. Like
this might just be a kill on Satoshi. Look, but body blocks the treants, making sure that they get the kills. And I mean, this was what was happening to them in the last game, and now they're able to turn the tides, right? And just put the pressure on them instead.
Yeah, speaking of turning the tides, I don't think Tide will die in this lane. Also a bit surprised that Ash doesn't have a Gush. It's a big spell. Maybe not so great against Terrorblade, because he has high armor, but against Silencer, if he steps up way too close, like this could be very good opening for them. Like you can see, Terrorblade is trying to harass. Tide is fine. He has point in Kraken Shell, has Raid Band, a lot of damage reduction just with these two items against the Terrorblade, so he's gonna be a-okay here.
We see some Tides every now and then. It's also weird to see Usha on not Mars, so I'm wondering how he's gonna play this hero. And when, you know, you've got the initiator of Mars who's trying to go in with a spear, get a blink dagger, but this is more of like, oh, I'm the offlaner who builds utility, right? Like, I'm going Guardian Greaves, maybe I'm going Pipe. So
they needed something to cancel the global silence. It also gives them great counter initiation. Like he's we've seen the power of Guardian Greaves in pretty much every single game. This item has been pretty much everywhere, all over the place.
So while we have this pause, we have another video from Ush. She's such a well-spoken player, and we're going to play that. And it's about knowing when you can feel the lead and when you're in complete control. So I'm interested to take a listen on this.
sometimes it can be hard to tell when the game's even. You never know. I mean, you may feel like you're ahead, but you're really not. You want to feel like you're ahead. You want to feel like you're stronger than them, because if the game's even, you want to just have that confidence. If you're like really in the lead, where you've taken most of their towers, if not all their outer towers, and you're kind of just like choking them out of the map, is a common, like a popular phrase. And when you keep them kind of just either stuck on their side, or even better, stuck in their base or outside of their base, then you know you can pretty much control the entire map, and that's when you feel like, you're in complete control.
So we talk about this a lot in these Div 2 games, feeling like you have the lead and feeling like you have control when we've seen a lot of net worth shifts. It's interesting to hear what he says. Like, in pubs, do you feel that? Like, when you can just feel that the game is yours?
Yeah, and then you can feel slipping away in the 2 minutes after you felt really good about it. I think pro players do have a very good read on the game, like how far ahead they are and when they can close it, what they need to do, especially like the one team, of course. That's something we talked about. Warden.
Yeah, Warden
will go down.
Getting killed off there by the Terrorblade. They've got the glimpse back though on Crawler, so they're gonna get another kill in the top lane.
Yeah, but to go back to the point Ash was talking about, you also, like, we've seen some teams not able to close out the game. Like, you don't have a good read on, like, how strong you are, like, what's your timing with this item, with the other item. And so we've seen, like, especially if they have some kind of a ability that can reposition you, so you need to respect these abilities. So a lot of the times you also see like Roshan's just being that slow siege. And the mid lane bottle will be refilled. We don't talk too much about the mid lane, other than saying that it is SF favorite matchup by a lot. So 2010 on SF, 14-1.
Ooh, they're gonna go. He's got telekinesis, but that means the last word goes off. He's silenced. Searing Chains onto the Shadow Fiend. RL is gonna run back a little bit. Meanwhile, Arcane Curse onto the Warden.
Oh.
And both heroes are gonna survive, it seems.
I'm not sure if that raise actually hit or hit slight dodge that.
I'd love to take another look at it, that's for sure. Gloom's back on Crawler. Battery Assault, but from a distance, Feeling can just right-click away. Pops a salve, and now another last word onto the Warden down bottom. Arcane Curse should be +2 in his future, especially with TB coming over. And it will be. It will be his first +2.
Not too bad. Like, you want to have that +2 as soon as possible. We've also seen some silencers not getting that at all. Just playing for 404 build with ulti on level 6. Mid lane, Shadowfin's bottle will be refilled. They do have a glimpse available.
Yeah, they're going to try and get this kill onto the Ember, who's trying to fight, raises in, and it looks like RRL is going to lose his life anyway. And that is going to potentially also be Fewing dying, but the Warden TP's in. They have a Fade Bolt. Now they're trying to turn this one around. Crawler, he was coming over for a second, but now he goes back to pick up the haste.
Feeling very good bait there. Understanding that, the rest of the team is coming, so good communication overall. I said that Clockwork needs to be a bit more active on a mid lane, but this top lane, it's a level 2 Clockwork. Nature's Prophet doesn't really care too much about it, and he's about to crack level 6, so Ember's still level 5. This could open up the map. RRL
running back, Arcane Curse. There's a raise for his troubles and a glimpse onto the Silencer. Last word also hitting onto the Disruptor. Well, damage coming in back and forth while Argus up top. He is going to get hit by that Crypt Swarm and fall. Telekinesis and a Fade Bolt to at least get the trade on the Crawler, but that is not what you want. It felt like Nature's Prophet was kind of taking over the game.
Yeah, love me some good Div 2 Dota. A lot of action happening, a lot of things you don't expect to happen, but it's very entertaining. Satoshi, how's he looking on Dead Prophet? About to have some mana, has 2 mangas to work with, so Exorcism is available, just brought mana boots, so that means that with that Exo, they could start to pressure some towers. First usage of the ulti on NP.
Ravage right in onto Snow to get that kill. And they're going to look at these other heroes. Telekinesis, Crawler in trouble, gets Cogs around too, but he's still going to fall. Good rotation from Ush. They were going after RRL, and he does not want to die back to back.
He was so ready for that. Just shift queued Ravage immediately. Gets it done. Knew that Sleight of Fist is not available, and yeah, they get 2 kills. Usually we don't see these Ravages being used early on, unless there's like an opportunity in the lane. We also talked about this Terrorblade having a good time. Like, he wasn't really pressured by Tide, so that means that yeah, he didn't die. He's level 7 on top of the net worth.
Terrorblade's having just an open time. We'll see. Nature's Prophet going Gleipnir first. We're seeing it again. Lacoste, this item is just constantly showing up and going to offer more control than just Kinetic Field, Telekinesis, Sprout, and Ravage.
It's a root mechanic. Mostly against Ember, it's a like cheap item that gives you great stats. And we see Arceus steeping bottom. This should be the tower. Terrorblade's in the jungle. SF in trouble. Does have 15, make it 16 1 charges, but those razors are not
Wrath of
hitting.
Nature, Telekinesis, and now maybe even thinking about going the other way, but Snow has a bottle to sip on, and he's actually looking to get a courier while he's backing up away from another NA team.
Penguin Squad, yeah, much better opening in this game. Less than 1k gold lead for another NA team.
It feels better for sure, but is it enough?
I mean, we have to see. Kind of hard to judge what's going to happen. Like, these players tend to be very chaotic when it comes down to execution. Terrorblade's having a good time. Like, I like Death Prophet against Tidehunter. It's an old school counter where, like, before it was much better because Spirit Siphon did slow him down and he couldn't dispel that. So you could run him down and like keep the exorcism going on him, which was a good counter, and then you like pick up a BKB and Tide can't really defend himself. But now without a slow and Siphon, it just feels slightly more difficult. Oh, Silencer in trouble. By in trouble, I mean very dead. He tried to deny this Arcane Rune, but not gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, that's not going to happen because now it's into the hands of this Shadow Fiend, and he's going to pop that immediately. They'll go after Crawler. He shows up, thinking about the Requiem. They've got the Static Storm down as well as the Ravage. Everything getting thrown. And, well, it's going to get them 2 kills and maybe even more. Exorcism used and, well, taken care of.
Ooh, this Shadow Fiend with Arcane pop the ulti, so we'll have it. Like, it's not about the damage. I like how Shadow Fiend players adapted, where they're like trying to land a good ulti nowadays. It's not I blink on top of you and insta kill you. It's more about setting things up for your raises.
That is always nice to land those raises and blow some heroes up. And being able to do so with the help of the Ravage, Glimpse, Kinetic Field, Static Storms, like everything's there. It feels like their team fights are very strong.
Most definitely. Like, these 2 big ultis, there's also stuff you can steal. Oh, RRL.
He found RRL, and he is looking dead on his screen, and he'll get a Requiem in death.
As well.
Just everybody going after the Shadow Fiend. He's got the damage output, but he is not surviving when these heroes make rotations.
I think a lot of people would agree with me when I say Shadow Fiend is like the most satisfying hero to kill in the game. Doesn't have any escape mechanism. It's just something about him, and also crippling him down, making him lose souls when you kill him.
Global Silence.
Protect Ember. Let's see
Shadow
if they can
Fiend's
get
going to be coming back into the fight, though. Arceus needs to get out, but one more right click from Kid. They're able to get that kill. They do have Glimpse. They go after Ush, but they'll lose Crawler. And now they've got the Static Storm as well as Kinetic Field. It's going to be onto the Terrorblade, but can they get the kill before he's able to get the Sunder off?
Doesn't even have Sunder. Doesn't even have a
no
point.
Sunder. No point in it. So no Sunder to survive. Level 9, no Sunder.
I don't think it would matter. Maybe he could buy a bit more time, but
The ending
would, yeah, the ending would still be the same in front of 5 dire heroes. As we said, like, this game's much more even. I like their draft way more. Penguins did a better job, and it already shows, like, in terms of how well they drafted for themselves in this game. Ember Spirit still on recovery mode, does have double damage, Orb of Corrosion, going at the what we call standard Ember Spirit builds, where you get like Maelstrom into BKB. So sitting in the like bottom of all the cores pretty much, so still a long road ahead of him.
Bottom of the cores, rough life for Ember. Meanwhile, top of net worth, good life for Nature's Prophet, who's got the Maelstrom and farming a lot. Telekinesis, it might even get worse for Ember, but he's got a Remnant to get away. Just barely, and now a double damage also going to be picked up and, well, used from this bottle for Snow.
Let's see if they can make something out of it. Clockwork. Hookshot is available, only level 6, 13 minutes into the game, both supports. Slightly under leveled hookshot. No, global silence to follow it up.
That hookshot almost okay, it was meant for RRL, but happened to hit the Rubik.
It hit.
They're gonna get the silencer too, so 2 heroes dead and now a TP attempt from Snow. He'll get out. He's got a Remnant top though, and if he wants to come back, well, it's gonna be into the face of another NA team's heroes.
A problem with Clockwork and the rest of the team is other 4 members of the team, they don't have a hook shot, so they can't close the gap as easily as Clockwork. Gotta be careful about it. See Ush about to finish the Guardian Greaves. Magic Wand, 4 points in Kraken Shell. Difficult task for this Terrorblade to bring him down. They definitely lack some damage to be able to kill him. Ravage is available. Ooh, big Sunder.
All right, Biggie. Starting with a Sunder, then a Mac. Here comes Snow from the other way around. They get the global silence, they get the kill and a feeling. TP out by the Warden, and Ush is gonna run. Exo's still running. Does he Ravage for survival? Yes, but still dies.
Okay, and this is why we said that Prophet, a good counter to Tide. You see, she gets on top of him. Exo's running, damage from Spirit Siphon. So C might start thinking about getting something to defend himself with. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Force Staff. If the rest of the team is not gonna be getting any, then he needs to get one. I mean, there is one being built on Warden. Disruptor's also getting one, so he could get something different. So he can get like a pipe, and oh, he has Aghanim Scepter queued up. Never mind.
Ooh.
Or minus armor, scaling the build.
I do low bags on time. Meanwhile, mid, they're gonna lose the silencer, and looking like Death Prophet is gonna be next, but ends up walking away. Hook shot towards the top creep wave, but the Wrath of Nature still catches up to Crawler. 2 kills again as Requiem pops. Snow gone, Kid dead. 4 heroes dead on the side of this Penguin squad. I mean, they are losing heroes hand over fist.
Yeah, they do. They did lose 2 heroes, and they still decide to take a fight. No Sunder whatsoever, because he used it on top. Warden keeping that rocket. They're still now.
Oh boy, Death Prophet. Oh, Static Storm, the glimpse back on the other side of the kinetic field.
It's like, so I don't want to keep you inside a Static Storm. It's just a zoning tool.
I just want you glimpsed through it. Well, that works. And now off in a rush. This has been a solid amount of work being done here by another NA team. I mean, they have controlled both games pretty easily.
Yeah, Guardian Greaves again. Penguin squad using scan. They know exactly where they are. Let's see, Crawler, if he can find a hook shot, if he can find the angle, kind of difficult task against all the treants around, and it's gonna be Argius picking it up. Full Gleipnir done, going at the BKB next.
Oh, look at Argius, he's just in.
He's massive. This time around, they're not gonna have, I think, trouble closing out the game, because they might not even wait for the second Roche.
They might go now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Everything is available besides Static Storm, but I think you would want to have also Shadowfin hitting that level 15, where you have Presence, Aura Effect, Building Talent, and then sieging becomes much easier. You take one fight, they lose a set of barracks. Terrorblade still doesn't feel fight ready, even though he's not as farmed as Nature's Prophet as you would expect him, because Nature's Prophet just farms way too quickly, comes online much faster than other carries, does have this global presence, tower damage, Shadowfin Manta style available, so no global, can get rid of reflection, searing chains, just overall, I'd say good pickup, not the best one. If you wanted to build it safe, it's BKB definitely.
Feeling dodge the hook shot. It hit him on the crossover, Ravage on it too, but the global silence, that'll stop a Requiem follow-up. And Snow is still gonna die here before feeling. Oh my. Oh, they're TPing forward for more. Gleipnir, and that's gonna be another kill. Silencer has no way out. RRL with the raise is gonna get the kill there onto a third. When it rains, it pours, and it's pouring all over these penguins.
Not looking good. One more time. The game is starting to be in a difficult spot for them. These two supports, we haven't seen them really in action. Ember Spirit has been struggling. Shadowfin has almost double his net worth at the moment, and he switches his item build, trying to get the BKB instead. We've seen this global used. I don't think it was a bad timing or anything by a global, but the rest of the team is also not there, not on the same page what they need to do with it. Warden thinking about maybe, lifting him up. Let's see what he steals.
Slight hook shot. It comes through, but a force staff, and that's getting him out of the cogs, and now they'll use the exorcism. Warden with the slight again. They'll go to the Requiem that lands out of the clockwork. There's a glimpse back. They'll get the kill into Satoshi. You just use the exorcism. Another slight, but a remnant back.
This is the second time they use Exo and get nothing out of it. He gets blown up immediately. So that's also a huge problem. He does have a hood, does have mech going into Greaves next. Shadowfin did hit that level 15 that I mentioned. Presence, Aura Effect, buildings, and off to high ground they go.
Glimpse, so Argus, he's gonna TP back to base. I think they want to catch Kid too far forward. Can they TP onto him? They can. Gleipnir and Kid's in trouble. There's the Sprout. Kinetic Field, glimpse into the Static Storm. No Sunder for you. And no life either.
Nature's Prophet also finished the BKB. I mean, look at his HP. Gleipnir, Pupil's Gift, great stats overall. Sitting at 2.5k HP with Power Treads on Strength.
Must be nice to have all that health. And Glimpse with the telekinesis. That's another dead clockwork. Hook shot's never going to get the chance to connect. And they have a 13,000 net worth lead approaching the high ground again. They've been waiting out these glyphs. They've been getting kills on these heroes around the map, and they're going to go for more. They've got themselves the Gleipnir into the Ravage, and that is going to be another kill on a Snow. They've locked him up. They'll look over at the Silencer, who's going to die here to the Warden. This is turning into what's close to a 1,000 net worth lead per minute. It's definitely honing in on that. It is high, just 21 minutes into the game, and they're going to look over at the Terrorblade once again. They kill him off one more time, and that's the fear thanks to that shard on the Shadow Fiend with that Necromastery getting activated. So he threw it, half-second fear, ran away into the kinetic field, and ended up dying.
There's just way too much damage, way too much tower damage on their side. The control, team fight, everything they have. Like, this is going to be a second set of barracks. The power of Nature's Prophet paired up with another tower hitter and having this constant sustain coming from the Guardian Greaves. Two set of barracks already gone. I don't want to be a downer, but I feel like, you know, this game's looking pretty over. It's just that another NA team seems to be like one step ahead, one level ahead in terms of the execution.
Yeah, they're kind of finding their identity, I would say. Off the last series, you know what I mean? Like how they want to play,
yeah,
what heroes they want to work with, and they've been definitely in the last two series looking a lot cleaner.
This is smoke. This is desperation smoke. They
Hook
found
shot.
Disruptor. Force staff
Can they
is
kill
available.
Disruptor? Looks like it, but now here comes this Nature's Prophet. He TP'd into the Global Silence with the BKB being popped, though, again. Well, Satoshi, he'll pop that Exo. He'll survive with the Spirit Siphon, and they're going to get the kill on a Kid. They'll take out the Terrorblade, and they will look as they turn this around onto Satoshi. The Warden, he's got an exorcism of his own, but that one's not going to last as he ends up dead. They'll get the kill there onto the Warden. They'll lose Snow as the Requiem came out, and at least this exorcism's full duration, but it's not doing anything after getting the kill on the Warden.
Yeah, the Warden is a madman. He's a mad lad for sure. Steals Exo, tries to fight inside the base. Damage has been spread. Like, yeah, you don't have the Spirit Siphon. There was like 2 or 3 Spirit Siphons used on Rubik to get the HP back, and still, Deso done on NP.
Oh boy.
Another Glacier initiation plus a 4-staff aggressive one.
It was a 4-staff from Fueling that put him onto the low ground. That was awesome. Now they'll call GG. That's it. They'll tap out. Another NA team is going to get the 2-0 and destroy Penguin squad in this series.
Yeah, this was pretty one-sided. This mid matchup, NP was free farming top.